Let's talk about quiet quitting. Quiet quitting has been in the news a lot lately, thanks in part to a TikTok video that came out about it. But honestly, like, the concept of quiet quitting isn't new. It's been around for a long time. But I think there's a completely different approach we can take that doesn't involve quietly kind of just not doing work. It'll actually set us up for success in the future and have better working relationships. So in this video, I'll be sharing like what is quiet quitting, why are people doing it, and something you can do instead. So stay tuned. So what is quiet quitting? Basically, it's this idea that you do the bare minimum at work. You don't really like take on extra work. You don't, come in on the weekends, kind of things like that. And it's basically the idea to like preserve your well-being so that you don't burn out. It's kind of funny because I was talking about this with my brother earlier. He was like, the words don't really match the definition. I can kind of see that. Like, if you're just trying to avoid burnout, and just say you're avoiding burnout. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Does quiet quitting match the definition? Let me know. But why are people quiet quitting? Well, to name a few things, like there's been a pandemic, inflation's really high, wages aren't keeping up, there's world disasters, wars. I mean, there's just so much that we kind of have to like mentally keep up with. Because of that, like, I don't think as many people can just put as much mental energy into their job when there's just so much uncertainty going on. A recent Gallup poll showed that only 22% of people are engaged at work. 22% worldwide are engaged at work. Like, that's crazy. And only 33% of people are thriving in their well-being. So a lot of people are really kind of struggling right now. But just because you're burnt out, does that mean you should quiet quit? I think there's a better option to it all. It's this really cool concept called setting boundaries. I know setting boundaries is not simple or easy, but it's such a valuable skill that'll help you thrive in all of your relationships, but especially at work. Now, to help you set boundaries, the first things you really need to do is figure out what your values and needs are. So values will help you understand what's most important to you, and then needs will help you understand the kind of environment that you should be in order to thrive. So a great book to help you start doing this is called Set Boundaries, Find Peace by Nedra Tawwab. It is a really good book to read if you've never actually had any experience setting boundaries. So in the book, she goes over the importance of understanding boundaries and also how to actually set the boundaries. And so each section kind of goes over different things. She has a whole section on like what boundaries are, why we don't have healthy boundaries, what boundary violations look like, and also how trauma informs boundaries. And then in the second part of the book, she goes into how to set those boundaries. So you can set boundaries with family, romantic relationships, with your friends, at work, and even with social media. So this is a great book to use if you're just getting started with setting boundaries. But at the end of the day, remember that you have agency and you have choices. I don't think enough people say this very often. We have a lot more choice and agency than we really think. I think that just taking a more proactive approach, I hate the word proactive, taking a more active approach instead of quiet quitting, learning to set your own boundaries, learning to figure out what your values and needs are, and really standing up for yourself are gonna lead you to have way more success than you can possibly imagine. If you're in a really bad working situation, just remember that you have agency. Like, you have values and you are a person of value. And so you get to choose how you're going to work through that situation. If you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, do a ding dong, dilly dong, whatever you like. I much appreciate it. And until next time, stay curious. Okay, let's see if we can do this in one fell swoop. The state of global work. A great book to start you help